Karina. Today we are going to be talking about the Skype call. As we've had so many questions regarding this, we thought we'd break it up a little bit and make it easier for you to group all your questions together. We are talking about the nitty-gritty of the everyday things that you need to know, what it'll be like when you go to Paris, and what your kind of daily routine will be like.
The hard thing with Skypes is that some people meet their family and move to the country within 2 weeks. If you're American, though, you have months where you know your family and you're getting your visa and you're like, should I Skype them every week? Should I Skype them twice a week? Like, what is the system for that?
The first time you Skype, you're going to be pretty nervous, but after that, you start to chill out and get to know them better, and it becomes less scary, so you can ask some better questions than you might have asked the first time around. In my personal case, I Skyped with my host family multiple times. The second time around, we talked pretty much like every day for a while, and I just got to know them, and it would have been nice to have some questions to ask because I was just fumbling around trying to figure it out. The first time I actually only spoke to my host family once, and then I had months to wait, so that wasn't ideal, really.
For me, when I was an au pair in France for the first time, I was going through the visa process, so I had a lot of time to get to know my family. I was sending a lot of questions over email, which is a really great way to get your questions answered, but I really wanted to Skype with them a couple times so that I could get to know their faces, know who was going to be picking me up at the airport, and I Skyped within the 3 or 4 months that I had been matched up with them. I Skyped with them about 3 times, I'd say, with among many other questions that I was communicating over email. So the first question that you can ask when you're going into your second Skype call or another Skype call is your daily routine. You can talk about your schedule, what your day looks like every day from Monday to Friday, and then what your weekends look like. Do you wake up with the kids in the morning? Do you have to clean the house in the morning? Do you take them home for lunch? How often do you do that? And then what time do they get out of school? All of that stuff.
Yeah. My first host family actually sent me a long document with loads of different information on it, one of which was a very detailed rundown of what I would be doing, and I definitely appreciated that. So if it's something that you like, then ask the question, maybe write it down so you can look over it and think about it in your months upcoming to moving. Our second question is to ask what your duties are. Should you be walking the dog? Will you be cooking dinner? Will you be driving the car? What are the specific duties that you may not have picked up on in your last Skype call? For instance, I wished I'd asked, do I need to bring a swimming costume? Because I was made to go swimming every Friday, which was a duty I was not too pleased about.
Did you not have your swimming costume with you?
No, I didn't. I had to go and buy a cheap one, and yeah, I hated swimming.
Third question that you can ask when it comes to the nitty-gritties is kind of inspired off of that. It's more about activities, but family activities. What does your family do together? Do they do something special on the weekends or a specific day of the week? For example, my family would go to the cinema every like 1 or 2 weeks together, and it was nice to know that because then I got invited and I knew what was important to them, so I knew what activities I should incorporate myself into if I wanted to feel like I was part of a family.
Yeah. Number 5 is one that I'd wished I'd asked about more often, and that is weekends. What are you expected to do on the weekends? Will you be working? Will you be free? Will they expect you to go on day trips with them? What do they do on the weekend? Do they have any weekend activities? And for my host family, the first time around, I wasn't invited on the weekend. I was meant to just leave on a Friday night, come back on a Monday morning. But for my second host family, that was their time to bond, and they did
and you
invite me
lived outside of their house. You made it sound like you had to just leave and find a bed to sleep on for the weekend.
I lived in a chambre de bonne the first time around. The second time around, I would babysit on a Friday or Saturday night, which was fine because I got the time off in the week, and I would spend a lot of time with them over the weekend, eating brunch, going out, having ice cream, all sorts of things. And that was important for my host parents, I think, because that was their only time to spend with me, and they were actually trying to incorporate me into the family, so I appreciated that time a lot, but I didn't ask it before I arrived, so it was a bit of a surprise to be like, oh, we're going for ice cream on a Saturday afternoon, do you want to come? And be like, yeah, okay.
That would kind of, I mean, I would like that and also not like it, because it's just such a weird balance of what is your independence and what is your time to yourself, and I preferred having my weekends completely alone, and definitely is a question I wish I had asked, because with my first host family, they expected me to actually work on the weekends. Like, I had the entire morning where I had to watch the kids and bring them to activities, which meant that Sunday was my only day off to myself. So either knowing that ahead of time can help you, or just looking for a family where you know you're not working on the weekends, that might be a priority for you as well.
Yeah. So the next one is, do you have to cook? And for me, my first host family kind of threw this one on me, and I ended up cooking pretty much every day, which I loved because they would come home, give me the ingredients. It would usually be these crazy French recipes, and I would have my phone out to try and Google Translate everything.
You learn French fast that way.
Yeah, and the meals would always be delicious because I'd been supplied with the recipe and the ingredients, and all I had to do was put it together.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, my host mum would be doing showers and helping with homework, which was something that's a lot harder than just cooking. So I actually was glad about that one.
Something to talk about when talking about cooking is dietary restrictions and asking them what they eat, in addition to mentioning what you eat.
Yeah.
Because it's always nice for both sides to know what they're going into, what restrictions they have to be accounting for when cooking a meal. Especially if you're not cooking and you have like a chef at your house, they have to know your dietary restrictions, so it's just nice for them.
The final question you should be asking in this round of questions is, do you have to babysit, and how often? Because you're supposed to only babysit once or twice a week, but that again is something that can be negotiated. So if you are just babysitting and you're not working at all on the day, that's fine, but really try and iron out how many hours you will be working and how many nights a week your parents think that they will be requiring you to babysit.
And what does babysitting mean? Are the kids already asleep and they're just going out for date nights? Are you taking them home from school and then just putting them to bed? And then maybe you can go up to your chambre de bonne because your host parents don't mind if the kids are alone. Like, what does that mean? So, we know the Skype call can be really, really daunting, so we wish you luck and know that it is scary for everyone. I was so nervous for my first Skype.
We suggest that you write down lots of questions so that you can just run through them, maybe highlight the ones that are most important to you and then kind of move around from there, because I had this whole page of questions which weren't really relevant to anything. So yeah, let us know if you have any more questions in the comments below, and please like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at @AuPairOfParis, and
visit our website, aupairaparis.com. That's all for now. Ciao.